What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me. Let's get into it. All right, so we're on the Shade Room, and I keep saying this. If you're a man and your name pops up on the Shade Room, it's never, ever good. But we're going to need Mr. Joseph Budden to step to the front of the congregation. He talked about the Diddy video on his podcast, and yeah. It did not it was not a good look. So let me actually go to this post because Tahiry, his ex, she matter of fact, they have that post. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so this is the original post. This happened earlier today, and Tahiry had some things to say about her time with Joe Budden. They were on Love and Hip Hop together. Had that infamous clip of Joe Budden trying to propose to Tahiry on the show, and he got embarrassed, and it worked. I think Joe's doing all right, but yeah, that was embarrassing when Joe tried to propose to Tahiry on Love and Hip Hop. But she's talking to someone, and she goes, "F out of here." Who? Yeah, okay. So I think this actually happened on the Shade Room. She was responding. They had posted a clip of, what was it? Oh, I know what it is. I think it's still, yeah, here it is. And this is them talking about Raven-Symoné and Joe Budden both talking about the Diddy thing. So that's where that originally came from. So then she goes, she comments on the post, "F out of here, the irony. This is so triggering. I remember Joey throwing me down a flight of stairs, dragging me back into a house, and having to talk him into letting me go for hours. This whole ish took me out. So hard to watch. So sorry for Cassie and every other woman who is currently going through it or has ever gone through it. It's tough." And then, so yeah, that's like I said, that was her responding to that. But Joe didn't appreciate his name getting dragged. Obviously, people let him know. And he came and he tried to post it. He ended up sending this out on a story because if you know about how Instagram is now, like somebody can say something about you, and if you respond and it's a little spicy, they will restrict the comment. So he took the comment and posted it up on the story, and then obviously Shade Room caught it. But let's actually hear what Mr. Joseph Budden has to say in his response to his ex Tahiry. You are a lying, failed gold digger that has abused, targeted, and manipulated many men. Outside of me, you lack an identity, which is why you tried desperately to attach yourself to me for over 15 years. The last time I saw you, I purchased a mattress from you, and you were happy you made the sale. You were fine then. There was that night after Starlet 6 years ago when you invited me inside your new place. You were fine then too. You were on my body your entire last stand on Love and Hip Hop, and you tried your best to disrespect my son's mother in the process. That's Sin Santana. That's who he ended up having his youngest son with. I had to ask producers to keep you away from us like the cancer you are. Yet you continue to slight my name online because it's your identity. I don't speak to you or about you because it's low vibrational. You're a low-level Dickman con woman that's been lying about, quote, you already know, for ages. I'm assuming the you already know is her allegations that Joe was very, very abusive to her during their relationship. I pray you heal and move on. One day, hopefully, this is our last exchange. Prayers to all real victims. All right, so that's Joe Budden. But someone I hadn't heard from in a while popped up, and it was another Joe Budden op, Taxstone. Let's actually head over to X and see what Taxstone had to say. All right, so okay, so this is Twitter or X. And this is the account of Mr. Taxstone. He used to have the hottest hip hop podcast. He was doing better than everybody. He was doing better than Joe. That was when Joe Budden's podcast was still called I'll Name This Podcast Later. But it was Taxstone, it was Drink Champs. Joe Budden's podcast was always like a top 5, top 10 hip hop podcast. But when Taxstone got out the way, when Taxstone got into some legal trouble, he's locked up and he's gonna be away for a good while. But there was an infamous episode of Taxstone having Joe Budden on his podcast, and I don't know. I think he thought Joe was being weird, and it was a weird. I don't know if those clips of Joe Budden on the Taxstone podcast on tax season. I don't know if those are still online, but they had some weird exchanges, and Taxstone just was like, "Yo, just get up out of here, man." He cut the interview and kicked Joe Budden out his studio. So that was an interesting exchange. So they haven't been cool ever since. But over the last few years, every now and again, because Taxstone has a burner phone while he's incarcerated, and he uses it to. He was talking to DJ Vlad, and because I remember he called DJ Vlad after he got locked up, and I think Vlad posted the video of that, of him actually talking to. Well, I mean, obviously he had permission, but. The reason I mention that is because Vlad said when they were trying to appeal Taxstone's case, they used some of the information that was on those exchanges between himself and Vlad and other information they got off the phone. And I already know some people go like, Vlad's the feds, but Vlad didn't give it to him. Somebody said something and they got the phone and they pulled some text messages up, and it had some incriminating evidence against Taxstone. So he obviously did not win his appeal, but he saw all the exchange between Tahiry and Joe Budden, and he said, on the next lifetime, life after Joe Budden. So boom. All right. Obviously he's not sneak dissing. So Joe Budden saw that, and he said, it'll be a lifetime before you can watch it, though. Bam. And then, matter of fact, I saw there was a lot of exchanges between, and here's Taxstone. I got a TV and a phone. Cute one, all right? And he was like, I try, but let me go to this other thing. And he was like, oh, here you go. Beat your next girl up so we can bunk it up. I'll have you wash my socks and we can pod together. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. And he's like, wash your socks. You ain't learned how to fight that well yet. That's how you got in there, buddy. And here's Taxstone again. Which rat you gonna take a picture with next time you anger someone in the strip club? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. What was that? That was like last year. Joe Budden had said something about Taxstone on his podcast, and some people that was cool with Tax, they saw Joe, and that went everywhere. They snuck up on him and punched him because of the comments that Joe Budden had said about Tax. So, and I remember Tax was tweeting in. He was tweeting some stuff out. He was kind of laughing and stuff, because even though he was like, oh, I didn't have nothing to do with that, but them people was affiliated. They was cool with Tax. And, matter of fact, one of the dudes was doing an interview. and I remember DJ Academics, he was reacting to it. He was like, Taxstone in jail. Why would you be clout chasing and try to do an interview? He was like, yeah, we crept up on Joe because he was saying, because obviously he's trying to get out. So he don't want to be seen as involved in any kind of criminal activities. But, here's Joe. He was like, none, I'll just beat your dusty friend again. I effed up about 5 dudes that night. Get your story from a reliable source, G Money. Like I said, this is weird because, like I said, Taxstone is in prison. I don't know. Like I said, he's had a phone for a while, because he'll every now and again somebody will post something on his Instagram, or he'll tweet something out. He's still active on Twitter. I remember my cousin was in there. My cousin was in the pen for like, he did like 20 something years. And I mean, boy, he have limited computer time and stuff like that, but it is what it is. But I just thought that was interesting. But you know, I was kind of hoping that Tax, because I love Tax's podcast. You know, he had some kind of deal with Charlemagne, and you know, Charlemagne was the one that was putting him on TV and helped him get a deal, I think, with the Loudspeakers Network and different things. And I was kind of hoping Tax would get out, but like I said, maybe Tax is like, well, I ain't gonna be getting out for a while. I might as well let folks know that they still my ops. But like I said, I thought this was an interesting exchange between Joe and Taxstone. But like I said, Tax Season was one of the best hip hop podcasts I have ever heard. Period. And, you know, Tax is a legend. I miss seeing his interviews on Vlad TV as well. But like I said, he had time for Joe Budden today. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. You know, we're trying to get that. You know, hopefully within the next few weeks we'll get that. We need your help. Subscribe if you like the content. Please give me a follow. We want you here. Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. I'm on Thread. All at Ikari Press. Type in IkariPress.com. It will take you to my comic book brand, Way of the Gun. Got the link to that and my Gumroad in the description if you want to check out some other projects. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.